Over the last 24 hours, we have seen this crypto market making some absolutely ridiculous moves that to some degree make absolutely zero sense. And today what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a look at what's going on in the crypto market, some news that we've seen recently, and then finally why I believe what we are in right now is a blatantly obvious trap. And it's so obvious that it's getting embarrassing. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. And let's first and foremost catch up on the world of crypto and kind of just see what is going on today. Now, looking at CoinMarketCap here, I mean, we can see that it's been a rather interesting 24 hours. Of course, just in yesterday's video, we were seeing a pretty good diversification of red and green, but for the most part, we are seeing the crypto market pumping. We got Bitcoin up 3%, leading a lot of that crypto market upwards, XRP doing well, Solana doing well, but our friend Pepe down here, man, this bad boy is going absolutely nuts, up 17%, recovering all of its weekly losses and seeing a lot of momentum. Maybe we'll have to do a Pepe video pretty soon here, but outside of that, we are seeing the market performing pretty dang on good. We are seeing some of them looking a little bit not so good, like BGB token, for example, is down on the 24-hour, but it's not surprising because that was one of the very few that was actually performing well over the last week. And so obviously once we do start to see the market turning up, it's no surprise to see people taking profit on something like BGB and funneling that profit into some of the ones that are just starting to perform better. Now, outside of that, again, we have LEO still down a little bit as well. Nothing too crazy. Virtuals protocol still going nuts, bringing in at that 35 spot, up 15% still on the 24-hour. And outside of that, yeah, nothing too crazy going on there. Now, diving a little bit deeper into some of our smaller ones, we can see here, again, let's go out to the dailies. There we go. We can see a pretty strong day from AI16Z, whatever in the world that thing is. I haven't had a chance to check it out, but it is at a $2 billion market cap. So yeah, there's that. Okay. We have virtuals again, Pepe. We have a pretty good solid wave of green here today. Obviously some of underperformers, right? FTM's looking a little bit ugly today, hype down, move down, but for the most part, not a terrible day in the crypto market. Now, as a result of this, of course, we are starting to see things kind of pushing in a bit of a better direction here in the market. If we actually go out towards, let's actually go to, let's start with the fear and greed index just to get a general overview. We can see things have started to reset just a little bit. We are stabilizing around the 64 to 63-ish area, but I would assume this is going to start to go up after today because people are already starting to make a major mistake of getting too bullish in this pump that we're in right now, all of which I'll explain a little bit later on. Looking at something like our RSI, as a result of today's pump, we can see here that most of your RSIs are now starting to push a little bit too far. You look at a lot of your cryptos on the 4-hour, for example, especially on the 1-hour, and the vast majority of our cryptos here in altcoins are pushing into that overbought and strong zone, which doesn't particularly mean that the market has to go down, but it definitely means that the run we're seeing from crypto right now is moving very fast. And generally speaking, the faster you move upwards, the faster you will cool down. I mean, you look at the 1-hour RSI on something like Bitcoin, yes, it is already in that 75-ish area. And again, it could continue higher, but just assume that where we are right now, we shouldn't, at least in my opinion, just continue to go absolutely upwards. It wouldn't shock me to start to see some of that momentum slow down, even if the price itself doesn't. So that's something to consider there. If we do go back out here, though, trying to see if there's any underperformers, we still are seeing things like Phantom, VANA, GMT, EMA. Some of these ones are still underperforming a little bit, but nothing major. None of the ones I really like a lot are underperforming. SWE is a little bit behind on the 1-hour, but I would assume if we go out to the 4-hour, it's probably somewhere right in line with the rest. Yeah, it's still right in line with the rest of them. And so overall, I mean, the market is looking pretty good today, don't get me wrong, but we are starting to see it move very quickly, leading a lot of people to, of course, get super bullish. And of course, we're seeing a lot of bullish sentiment enter the market again. As a result of all of this, if we go to liquidation map, for example, you can see the liquidations are already building, and I'm going to touch on this a little bit more in like 4 or 5 minutes or so, but what we can see is that as a result of this pump, people are already they're going long on leverage. Like, let me just take off everything except 50x and 100x. Let me turn you off, turn that off, turn that off, and turn that off. And what you can see is, I mean, look at the sheer amount of people who have opened up 100x or 50x trades that will be liquidated if we see the price of Bitcoin go back towards 90,000. I mean, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars of liquidations that will happen if this market goes downwards. And it's not to say that it's going to for sure, but this is something I've been telling you all to avoid. This is a no trading zone in my opinion. And the reason being is because every time this market tries to make a move in one direction or the other, we immediately see rejection. We immediately see head back in the opposite direction, liquidating everyone on every side, and people are already making the same mistake that causes that. The fact that we're seeing this many people open up huge leveraged long trades just tells me that people still not learned their lesson, and they're going to be fresh pickings for the lizard people to take their crypto from. And so it just is what it is, right? And so where I am in the market today is obviously it's great that it's green, and a lot of my bags are looking pretty good. They're recovering decently well. We are still in a period of recovery. I mean, you can look at crypto bubbles on the weekly and tell we're still in a period of recovery, so it's not like we're we're like in price discovery or anything, but it has been nice to see, obviously, on the last day or so some of these things pop up. But I'm still extremely skeptical of all of this because I know that we're still in that no trade zone. You guys know I've told you pretty consistently that this is a no trade zone. This red box is one that I personally am not trading in, just because manipulation will be at all-time highs in here, and I just don't want to be a part of it. And that's actually, again, what we're going to talk about in a few minutes here, is the fact that we are seeing that manipulation in place. And this is the sort of manipulation we've been talking about happening for days, if not weeks, up until this point. Now, if you do want to trade yourself, again, I'm not personally trading right now, but I will be again in the future. You can feel free to check out that BTC link down below. Guys, this exchange has been around for 13 years and they're still getting better every month. And if you do sign up specifically with my link, they're going to give you a 10% bonus on all first time deposits between $500 and $100,000. This means if you deposit $4,000, they'll give you $400 on the spot to start trading with, no strings attached. So what that means is if you make $800 off that $400, all the profit you made is yours and you can keep it. So this is an opportunity to make free gains during a bull market, which obviously you can't come by very often. So feel free to go check that out down below. Again, I'm in a no trade zone right now, but I will be trading again in the future. So this could be something to check out if you do have some trading plans yourself. Now, moving forward a little bit, now that we kind of can see and tell, the market is doing good, but it is moving very fast. Let me talk about the title of the video. Okay. The title of the video says something along the lines of, "It's so obvious it's embarrassing." And what I'm talking about is the fact that you all know we've been saying that this is a BS zone. This is a no trade zone. This is a high manipulation zone. All the things that you can think of, all the keywords, all the buzzwords, doesn't matter. This is a zone where you need to be careful because people are going to start losing for absolutely zero reason if they trade in this red box. And this red box, I mean, is on Bitcoin in between $100,000 and at $91,000. Now, don't just take it from what I'm saying right now. Let me actually play you a quick clip from a video that we posted about 4 or 5 days ago that called exactly what we saw yesterday, because what we saw yesterday was just stupid, honestly. And I'll dive more into it in a second here. This is what I'm talking about when I say it's so blatant, it's obvious, it's kind of just embarrassing. We called something like this, where people just got absolutely wrecked in this up, down, up, down. Listen to what I said in this video. Look, let's just go do this real quick. Okay, listen. And I believe this is one of the favorite periods for the lizards. I believe that the lizard people look at this and they're like, oh, juicy gains, too easy, too tindies, right? Because they can push it down and force it up and push it down and force it up and just keep liquidating everyone to the top side and the bottom side. And then what gets really annoying is the fact that there will also be moments at some point, I'm sure, where we might even get a fake out. That is another card that's on the table, in which the market breaks out to the downside. Everybody starts shorting this thing because we just broke the macro range. The head and shoulders pattern is confirmed. Oh, this is the moment where we're going to 80K, and then what do you know? It bounces off support, heads right back in here and goes out this way, maybe gets rejected back in, and boom, we're right back in here. So what I was talking about in that video was the fact that even there are going to be moments where the price of Bitcoin comes down and loses $92,000 for a second, comes back down, everybody starts opening up these short trades, expecting that the market's going to go down, expecting that we're heading to 90 or 80 or whatever it may be, and then next thing you know, it just reverses back to the upside, blatant manipulation that forces the price upwards, and now we're in a spot to where, people just get liquidated. They get wrecked. Because you know what happened yesterday? What happened yesterday was the market fell to these levels, right? As it fell towards this $90,000 level, everybody started opening up short trades. And I told you I wasn't going to, and I told you it's not a good idea to, but anyone who doesn't watch the channel, guys, they were opening up short trades. We saw it on liquidation maps. Everybody started opening up short trades right here. And you know what happened? The moment that they did that, the market started to stabilize a little bit, reversed back to the upside. And you know what's funny about that? Everyone who opened up short trades right here got liquidated as the market goes up. Then people have that reaction. They start revenge trading. So then they open up long trades. They're like, oh, we're going to keep going up. So they open up long trades somewhere right here. And then you know what happens? The market goes all the way back down. And then people start revenge trading that. Like, oh, this was just a fake out. No, we're going down. So they open their short trades again. And mind you, I'm watching this in live action, watching the liquidations open. They start opening up short trades again as we lose 92,000 before Bitcoin's price then builds a support, stabilizes, and then continues upwards, liquidating all of the people who opened up the short trades. And you know what's funny? People are revenge trading again. If you go to liquidations, now all these people right here are going 100x long or 50x long on leverage because they're like, oh no, it's now going up. It's blatantly obvious at this point. And you remember when I told you all like 2 weeks ago hey, this is my tinfoil hat theory. I think we're in a high manipulation zone. I think there are lizard people who control these markets that are going to force the prices upwards and downwards and are going to force liquidations on either side. That is not a theory. This is it's so obvious that it's embarrassing. And you can see it. I mean, let's go look at liquidation history. People were getting demolished on both sides of this entire week. Bulls getting liquidated, bears getting liquidated, back to back to back. And we're seeing hundreds of millions of dollars of liquidations every single day in a time period where the price of Bitcoin hasn't done anything. It hasn't done anything. And that's why I keep telling people this is a no trade zone. This is why the longer we stay in here, the more likely it is that manipulation is going to be in place. And so that's why I'm not doing anything. That's why I'll continue to not doing anything. I even told them in the school yesterday, I was like, listen, if these hourly candles for Bitcoin today aren't proof for you that we are in lizard territory, I don't know what is. Pure manipulative pumps and dumps and no one seems to care. What it would be like to be a lizard person is just too easy for them. And we told them about this, right? And it's just one of those things that you just have to recognize. You have to understand the territory we're in, when things go up and when things go down. Because when the market was pulling back, I was telling people now's not the time to panic. I even told them, look, if you're panicking, go watch this. What I also told them is, look, now this is time to be very careful. If there's ever a moment where whales will try their hardest to get you, it's right after a breakout layer we're currently seeing. Be on the lookout for back tests, fake outs, and false moves. Guys, that was right after the price dropped under 92K. I told them, look for back tests, fake outs, and false moves. And what do you know? The market absolutely sends it back upwards. These are the things you just need to be aware of because we can't stop it. We can't control it. It is going to happen whether you like it or not. So you just need to understand how to respond to it. And what I'm doing is nothing. I even told them in the school the other day. I was like, my strategy is simple. Where's that at? Hold on. Easy plan. I said, I'm basically still doing nothing until we see what Bitcoin decides to do here. Easy plan, do nothing. And that's what I'm going to continue to do because this is just ridiculous. And what we saw yesterday was so glaringly obvious. It's just embarrassing. And if you lose in this situation, I'm sorry, but I told you so. I told you so. You cannot buy the BS that's going on right now because it's just too easy for them. And so with that in mind, yes, it's a good day. Don't get me wrong. We did get some pretty decent news. Oh, and by the way, don't worry. I'll tell you about the school in like 2 minutes. Okay. But we did get some pretty decent news, right? $1.5 trillion Franklin Templeton says that, they're expecting Bitcoin reserves and strategic reserves from several nations. We obviously saw MicroStrategy stepping in with another $200 million buy. We've seen all these things and cool. They're, Swiss initiative to add Bitcoin to the Constitution. All these things are cool and all, but these are disguises in my opinion. They wait for news like this to disguise their BS, and that's what ends up forcing these liquidations to the downside, causing people to the upside and the downside to lose. Everyone's getting demolished. And so because of that, guys, that's where we're at in the market. You can't fall for this trap. You can't fall for this BS. The best thing to do right now is nothing, in my opinion. Let this play out. Let there be some clarity. Let us get closer to the 20th. Let all of those things start to happen before you can have too much conviction in either direction. Because guys, quite frankly, I don't know what's going to happen. And people who are on YouTube right now trying to tell you they know it's going to go up or they know it's going to go down are just hoping that they're right so their egos get a boost and they get a couple more subscribers. I don't care if I don't. I'm telling you, I don't know. No one knows. So allow this to play out, allow it to clear, allow things to become more obvious, and then we can make some moves. But until then, not a good move. Now, as I did mention earlier, we do have a crypto school for those of you who are new to this and stuff, but it's only really made for 3 people. If you're one of these specific types of 3 people, then the school was made for you. And if you're not, it's probably not the right fit for you. So person number 1, beginners who are trying to just figure this whole crypto thing out and start trying to just learn, obviously made for you. Intermediates, meaning you have some skills, but you're just kind of struggling to figure out how to take all the things you've been learning and turn them into a real strategy. We made this for you. And the third one, the third next level up, are for advanced people who feel like they've hit a bit of a plateau. You have a winning ratio or just barely negative ratio, and you're trying to just figure out how to get that extra edge, and you feel like you've been stuck in place for a while. This is for you. If you're one of those 3 people, we built the school for you, and what we do is we take people just like yourselves. We give them courses, coaching, classes, live streams, workshops, professional trade signals, research, exclusive Q&As, and exclusive insights, and we use all of this value to help you develop a strategy. Once you have a strategy, the strategy turns into gains. And the best part about it is, of course, you get your money back if you don't learn anything, and it starts at just $5 a month if you are interested. And don't take it from me that people generate gains. Guys, you can go look at Community Gainers. We can go here and we can see this. We had a $47,000 gain yesterday from one of our coaches. I'm not just making this up. And if I just scroll through, look, let me just scroll through. This is just today. Hundreds of percentages in gains, tens of thousands of dollars being printed in this community every single day. So if you want to be a part of these people who learn all of these things, create a strategy, and create gains for as little as $5 a month, head to the link to the Patreon down below. Feel free to go check that out. You have options, 17 bucks a month, $5 a month, and the executive tier is sold out for now. So head down below, go check that out, and let me know what you think. But until then, guys, and in the time being, be careful, because this is just so stupid, and it's such a stupid area to get caught in. We are likely going to see crypto go up at some point one way or another, so why lose money in here? Just stop. Just give it a break, give it a pause, let it play out, and I'll be here updating you every step of the way. But of course, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. I hate whenever I get a little bit too ranty, but man, sometimes these things just get under my skin. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Happy New Year's to you, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.